Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today another month has gone by. I feel like the months are going by so fast because I remember doing my October reading wrap up 2 seconds ago, so I don't know where the time went. We're now at the November reading wrap up. Who's scared? Who is scared at how fast time goes? But it's almost Christmas time. Now we're in the Christmas spirit. I know last time we said we were in the Christmas spirit, but now it's actually Christmas. Like, I have gotten all my Christmas shopping done. It's Christmas time, girl. Anyways, today is going to be my November reading wrap up, and I'm also adding in my sort of December TBR, or books I kind of want to get to in December, because I read 6, I think, which is like really good. That's still good for me, but I didn't read enough to, I think, warrant as long of a video that I want. So I am adding a little bit of my TBR in there. It's gonna go by pretty quick because I don't have that many books on my TBR in general. Let's get on to the point of the video, which is my November reading wrap up. So let's do it. I read 6 books in the month of November. One of them is missing because it's in my mom's car and I'm way too lazy to go out and get it. So I'll just put a picture of the book up. Okay. The first book that I read this month was The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. I was in my spooky time because it was the end of October when I started this book. Gave this book, I would say, a 4.25, I'm pretty sure. It was amazing. Like, I will say this until I'm blue in the face. Like, Freida McFadden's books are amazing. The pacing in which the books go and how well written these books are, and just the plot of the books and the plot twists are insane. Like, I've read 3 Freida McFadden books by now, and I have loved every single one. Like, the plot twist will get me every time, because there's one thing about me, it's that I don't think while I read. I do it to escape thoughts. That's why I read. I do it to escape thoughts. So why would I try and figure out what's going on in a book? I'm there for the vibes. I'm there to read what you've written on the page, not think too much about it, and then gasp when the plot twist happens. That's what I'm here for. I generally think I am the target audience for thrillers because I don't think. I just read. That's my motto in life. Don't think, just read. Put that on a t-shirt, someone. Put that on a t-shirt. I feel like I've talked about the plot of this book for so long, like, on my channel. So I'm gonna get this really quick. Her dad was a serial killer. She's now a doctor. People are getting killed in the same fashion her dad killed people in, and she's a suspect. That's basically the roundup of what this plot is. It shocked me to my core. There was no morsel in me that thought, this is who it's gonna be. This is who it's gonna be. No. I was thinking it was anyone else but this person. I just thought it was really good. So if you're looking for a fast-paced thriller to get you out of a reading slump, or just to meet your reading goals, since we're coming up on the end of the year, thrillers and Freida McFadden's writing I would suggest to read because they just go so fast. And I read literally, I think, most of this in one night. I couldn't put it down. That's the first book. The next book that I picked up was King of Greed by Anna Huang. This was her newest release in the Kings of Sin series. This book is a marriage in trouble trope, and it's like second chance kind of. It's a lot of groveling on the man's part. I enjoyed this book. I think I gave it a 3.75. I liked it. I definitely think King of Wrath is still my favorite. I gave that book a 4 stars. This is like one of the only marriage and trouble tropes I've ever read, and it did evoke a lot of emotion out of me. I just found myself really caring for the characters and where they were going to end up. And I loved seeing the backstory of when they first met and how they started their relationship and their marriage, and just seeing how that sort of fell apart and how they're going to rekindle that same connection and that same relationship, because the female main character is so strong for standing up for herself and knowing what she wants in this relationship and what she deserves. And the male main character, you see him grovel and try to be the person that she knows he can be. Loved seeing them become better people for each other while also becoming better people for themselves. I would recommend it. 3.75. That's the second book. The third book I read was Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I enjoyed some aspects of this book, yes. I loved the 2 characters. I loved the banter and tension that the 2 characters had. I'm intrigued to see how that's going to move on into the next book. I mainly loved the characters for the most part. Side characters, anyone. I loved the characters. I loved the banter and the bond that they had. It was so good. But what I didn't love is sort of the fantasy aspect. For most of the book, I had no idea what was going on. It's my fault because I looked on TikTok to see if anyone else felt like this. I was like, girl, like, am I supposed to understand what's happening? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And there is a trilogy that comes before this. Hey guys, if you are wondering, yes, there is a trilogy that comes before this. I didn't know that, and I don't care to read the trilogy. I'm just being honest. I'm just being transparent. I'm not gonna read it. And I didn't understand the fantasy aspect for most of the time. But you know what? I ignored it because the 2 main characters were iconic. I could feel the tension through the pages. I was like, oh my god, like what's happening? I was like, this is so good. And I gave it a 3 stars. I thought it was good. People tell me the second one is better. So the second one, since I've already gotten into the politics, maybe I'll enjoy it more. I really hope. We'll see when I read it. But that was sort of my feelings. I didn't absolutely love it like I thought I would, but did kind of leave off on a cliffhanger, I think. But like not enough for me to like immediately want to pick up the next book. It took me a long time. It took me like a week to read that. And it doesn't usually take me that long to read books of that length. So I was like, am I enjoying this? So I gave it a 3 stars. That was that book. The next book that I read was Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I gave this book a 4 stars. Guys, it's so good. Lauren Asher doesn't miss. Any Lauren Asher book, I will buy it. Hey, I'll buy it. I'll pre-order it. I'll have it coming to my house the day it releases. This book is a sort of childhood friends, but they were like kind of enemies, but they were like friends. 2 enemies, like they didn't talk, 2 lovers. And it's kind of like rivals because they were like academic rivals when they were kids. They kind of keep that, it's, you understand what I'm saying. So I loved the tropes and the characters. Julian and Dahlia. Julian. Can we just like talk about it? Julian. Loved seeing the growth of these 2 characters, especially Dahlia. Dahlia is in a really tough spot when we start the book with her, and seeing her grow and seeing her come to terms with how to better herself. And Julian as well sort of blocks things that happened to him in the past and sort of like tries to ignore it, and now he's like acknowledging it and trying to come to terms with that and face it as well. And the cover's adorable. Like if you're gonna buy it off anything, buy it off the cover as well. And also because it's Lauren Asher. So, and the banter is amazing. Like the banter was so good. I loved the families as well. Anyways, that was this book. Gave it a 4 stars. Really, really enjoyed it. And read it. Because the next, oh my god. The next book I think is going to be Single Dad Nanny Trope. And if any of you guys know, that's my favorite thing ever. Heartless by Elsie Silver is one of my favorite books ever. Those are the next tropes, I think. And I'm gonna throw up. I am so excited to talk about this next book. I could cry. I could cry, guys, and that might be dramatic of me, but I am super excited to talk about this next book. It is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. If you can't tell by my reaction, this is a 5-star read. Yep, we've got a 5-star read this month. Yep, everyone sound the alarms. If you're gonna listen to anything I say, this book, it's YA, so a lot of people can read it. It's a romance and fantasy, and just like you're supporting an author. Let me have a fangirl moment because like she liked my comment and she liked my video on TikTok. It's the fangirl in me that's like any person who I like love likes anything or like acknowledges me in any sort of way. It happened with Anna Huang. She liked my comment one time and I was like, I'm gonna throw up. This is too much. Like how did you see that video? Author just seems like such a genuine sweet person, and I absolutely love seeing people just like accomplish their dreams. I love that for her, and seeing like her journey. Like you can see her journey from like the start of publishing her book to now on TikTok, and it's just like it's so amazing to see. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about the book. This follows Kai and Peyton. I don't really know how to describe the fantasy, but it's like sort of like elite people, sort of like the Hunger Games. There's a group of people fighting each other to like win. That's basically it. The fantasy aspect is literally not hard at all. You really grasp it really quick. Everyone has different powers as well. Hey, by the way, everyone has different powers. Those are like elites, or I forget the other one. And there's ordinaries who like are not supposed to be there. Ordinaries are not supposed to be a thing. Like they want to eradicate all ordinaries, and we find out that the main girl is an ordinary. You fight in these games, you use your powers, one person will win. That was good. Absolutely loved it, devoured it. But the characters in this story are written so perfectly. Like this is a 6-star read for me. I will think about this book forever until it's July and I get the second one. If she would ever to do an arc, I would be like, hey girl, hey bestie, how you doing? I would love that arc. Kai, one of the best bookmen I have ever heard about. I don't usually feel like this. After I read a book, when I put it down, I don't ever feel like I want to immediately pick it back up and annotate. But this book, I immediately, as soon as I set the book down after sobbing at the end, as soon as I put it down, I said, I need to pick it back up. I need to annotate it. I need to annotate it heavily. I'm feeling unwell. And there's so many things that he said that I was like, how are you? He's not real. I almost said, how is he real? He's not. How did she think of you? how did she put you on paper? Because this is my ideal man. And then Peyton is such a strong character, like knife to throat romance. Like she is like, I will kill you. Like I will literally murder you. Like, and I'm being so honest. And I'm like, they're so in love. They're so in love. That's that one. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I could talk about it for years. And it's my pride and joy. I'm so glad I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive because there's special things in there. Anyways, so love it. Love it. And then finally, the last book that I read was Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I'm giving it like a 3.75 4 stars. I don't know how I feel yet because there were many scenes in this book where I was like, oh my god, like he's perfect. The third act conflict and some other parts that I was like, okay girl, like I can't really fault it because it happens in every rom-com where there's a third act conflict that could have been avoided very easily. Like I used to love rom-coms, but like now I'm like, I need something deeper. I need something like more high stakes. I enjoyed it. 3.75 4 stars. Haven't decided. Might decide when I edit it. Might not. Who knows? Might keep you hanging. This is about Jack and Elsie, and they are like enemies to lovers. She is fake dating Jax, who is the male main character's brother. Now we're gonna quickly, because I feel like I've talked for a long time, move on to my TBR. I would absolutely love to finish this duology, Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I think I am going to get to it. No idea what it's about. I don't want to read it. It's the last book in a duology. So I do want to read this. Love the cover. I've said that multiple times. Red is my favorite book cover. I do want to read the last 2 books in the Magnolia Parks universe. I want to read Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home. I cannot wait to annotate it. I'm really interested to see where Magnolia and BJ are because I know they're not going to get a happy ending because they have another book coming out. So I'm not excited, but I am excited. And then I want to get to Daisy Hates The Great Undoing because we know, like I've said it multiple times, like get with it. Daisy Hates and Christian are my favorite and I know I'm going to sob because I sobbed at Daisy Hates. So I want to pick up The Invisible Life of Addie Laroo by V.E. Schwab. I read like 30 pages of this and then put it down, but I'm super intrigued by the plot of this. She basically can't die and no one remembers her, which is like terrifying. Might give me an existential crisis. I'll keep you updated. And then finally, of course, I have to add in my Christmas books that I did not read last year, which is Talk Santa to Me by Linda Urban. No idea what it's about. It's very short. I don't even know why I didn't read this last year. I think I read 10 pages and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna read it because I bought it and it's a Christmas book and this is the only time of year I can read it. So I might do a video of reading only Christmas books for a week. I don't know, maybe. This one is All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. This one I feel like is more interesting and I did try to read it last year, but I just also didn't care because I had other books I wanted to read, I think. I will be reading this. Hold me to it, guys. Hold me to it that I will read these books at Christmas time. Those are all the books that I read in November and some of my December TBR. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it and clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of my face and more of my videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!